Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. In today's story, am I the idiot for refusing to take care of my brother for 2 weeks of summer break? I, female 27, am the oldest of 4 siblings. I am from very poor family. Few years ago it got a bit better, but when I was a child we barely had enough money to feed all the kids, let alone for spending on pleasures. I never went on any kind of holidays until I was 19. Nowadays I live in different part of the country than rest of my family, in a capital city. I have a stable job where I don't earn too much, a bit above minimum wage, and sometimes I'm struggling to make ends meet, but comparing to my parents' income it's still quite a lot, especially since I've no children and live alone. Recently my mum told me that she wants to send me my youngest brother, male 14, to spend 2 weeks of his summer vacations with me. She told me she'll pay for his food and other expenses. The thing is, my mum expects me to take him to museums, sightseeing, and to other places which usually need tickets. Also, while she knows how much does the food cost, she has no idea when it comes to tickets to museums, buses, etc. Basically, I'd have to pay for most of his expenses, especially since she expects me to buy with him some clothes and other things for school. Too, my family live in a small city with only few shops. It would cause a big rift in my budget, especially since right now I've some other expenses which I cannot postpone. Also, I moved from my parents when I was 16 and my brother was 3, so we're practically strangers. I'm no good with children and teens, and spending such a long time with him alone would be very psychically draining for me. All in all, I told my mother I'd be more than happy to have my brother for a week, but 2 is too much. She was very disappointed and now keeps telling me how bad I am as an older sister and ungrateful as a daughter. She thinks since she'd give me some money, everything's all right. I tried to explain to her that it wouldn't be enough, but she doesn't want to listen. I believe she kind of hoped I'll not bat an eye and just agree to pay for him. And I'd love to, but I simply can't. I feel terrible. I remember how ashamed I was when all children in my class traveled somewhere in the summer but me. I don't want my little brother to feel the same way. Honestly, I'd love to spend some quality time with him, maybe rekindle our relationship and show him some places I love. But not for 2 weeks. Am I the idiot? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the a-hole. I may be the a-hole, because I don't want to take care of my brother for 2 weeks, which will make his summer break more miserable and which disappoints my mom. I think this is a sad situation for everyone. For OP, who currently can't financially support her brother while he's with her, for OP's brother, who can't travel and spend time in a new place or with her, and also for her mother, who, despite acting a bit entitled here, must feel like a bit of a failure because she can't cover all of her son's expenses while he's with OP. This is all a bit sad, but it's reality, and it doesn't make anyone here the idiot, especially OP. Of course, the parents, and maybe even the brother, may think OP is just lying about not being able to host her brother, that actually she doesn't want him there, and is lying about her financial situation. Maybe they genuinely think OP earns and has more money than she actually does, just because she lives in a bigger city and has a better job. But that also comes with higher expenses, and it seems some people forget about that. Anyway, you're not the idiot, OP. Try talking to your mom again and offer to have your brother with you next year. This will give you and her time to better prepare financially. You can even make a realistic budget for the needs and outings you'll take with your brother, and then share it with her. Regarding rekindling your relationship with your brother, start talking with him more, calls, emails, texts, video chat. Start with this, so that when you see each other again, you two won't feel so much like strangers. And what do you guys think OP should do? Do you think she should welcome her brother, even if it causes her financial problems? And what about OP's mom? What do you think of her behavior? Don't forget to leave your opinions down below. Now, let's read OP's replies and what other information she left for us. Not the idiot. Mom wants you to finance both brothers' vacation, to visit you, and her own, 2 weeks without brother. A week under these circumstances is more than generous, and brother will get just as many bragging rights from staying a week as he would from 2. Not the idiot. How bad I am as an older sister and ungrateful as a daughter. Ungrateful for what? You left home at 16 and never had a family holiday in that time. It would be nice to host your brother to get to know him, and a week is a fair compromise. To be fair, my parents did their best to support me and my siblings, they just weren't able to do so. Also, 2 of my younger siblings were unplanned, which my parents don't exactly hide, but that's for another story. My hometown doesn't have too many workplaces, so people work where they're able to get a job, often for less than a minimum wage. It's just not an ideal environment to raise children. Given the situation, it really wasn't their fault that they weren't able to send me and my siblings on family holidays. Not the idiot, and you know what? Make a list of everything, museum/bus tickets/clothes. Budget everything and return a bill to your mother. Just tell her that you don't make much, and if she expected a 2-week vacation for herself, she just want to get rid of your brother, I think, then she should provide you XX money. She is guilt-tripping you right now. You don't owe her. Also, I am guessing OP is going to need to work while he is there, so what is he going to do then? A teenager not used to big cities, alone in a big city sounds like a bad plan. Not the idiot. It's your life and your money. If 1 week works better for you instead of 2, it's totally fine. You have clearly considered your brother's feelings, and I see nothing to indicate that you're being an a-hole. Not the idiot. Does she also expect you to take time off work to take him around? Fortunately not. She thinks that since he's 14 he will be able to entertain himself when I'm at work, especially since I'm working from home so I can keep an eye for him. Not the idiot. Does she knows you work from home? 'Cause she might think that because you don't go to an office that you basically don't need to do a thing. Food can be budgeted for, especially when cooking it yourself, and taking cheap bulk items like a big bag of rice can lower the costs if you have the room to store it. Tell her that you can't having him over for so long, and if she pushes, ask her to make a list of the museums she want you to take him to and tell her to look up all the ticket prices. That amount plus the food costs is the bare minimum she needs to fork over. Also, he is mostly a stranger to you. Does he even want to come over? Does he even want to go to the museums? Or does he just want to raid the fridge while playing games on his phone? Yes, he wants to come over. It's not that we don't like each other. Simply, I see him 3 to 4 times per year, each time for a week, at most. I'm more a funny older aunt for him than a sister. Yes, my mom knows that I work from home. She doesn't take it very seriously, but she's aware that I've things to do and not just sit on the couch all day. Oh boy, the fact that OP works from home can become a problem in this situation. Especially since when you say you work from home, many people, and apparently her mother and maybe her brother, don't take it very seriously, and don't respect the time and space she has to spend working. I'm speaking from experience. And as I said before, I think you and your mother should better plan when your brother should come visit you and make a budget. And what about you guys? What do you think of the comments? Do you agree with them? What else would you advise to OP? Don't forget to leave your opinions down below. Oh, and I hope you are enjoying the video so far. If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. Now let's go to the next story. Am I the idiot for not telling my brother that my mom secretly DNA tested his son and not saying sorry? Am I the idiot? Last month he found out his soon-to-be ex-wife has been cheating on him. It was really fed up since he's done so much for her. Both of my parents hated her so much since she has a very shaky history. Pretty sure they hired a PI and found out she's been running away from home since she was 14, been in the system, addicted to drugs, went to rehab, etc. She met my brother at a point where she was stable and had a job and everything, but they still hated her since she refused to talk about her family and past. When she got pregnant with my nephew back in 2018, my parents were both mad and didn't think the baby was my brother's. At that point, they didn't speak badly about her since my brother threatened to never speak to them again if they didn't accept her, so they were fakely liking her but always talking badly about her behind her back. One day I was coming back from school when my nephew was like a year, and I walked into my mom putting something in his mouth and then putting it into a bag. I asked her what the hell she's doing, and she told me to mind my business. I walked over and saw she had some Amazon DNA kit she ordered. I asked her why she's doing that, and she said that she needs to make sure he's actually related to us. I told my mom our brother would be mad, and she told me there's no way he'd find out. She told me I can't tell him, and that if I do she won't pay for my car or my college. I asked her if she's serious since she's never threatened me, and she said yes, and that she's not even telling my dad. I thought it was super FD up, and a few weeks later my mom told me the results were in and she's the grandmother. After that she became much nicer to my ex-sister-in-law, so that took some guilt off me. Once it was exposed she cheated and they broke up, my mom couldn't wait to tell my brother that she always knew she was a slut and even got the baby tested because she needed to make sure. My brother got extremely upset at my mom and started asking me and my dad if we knew. My dad swore he didn't know, and when my brother asked me I couldn't lie again. I told him I knew, but mom threatened me, but he didn't care and isn't speaking to me. I was upset at first and felt bad, but it's been a week and I don't care that he's mad at me for not telling him. I was being threatened and was literally 17. My brother came over yesterday and we spoke, and he asked me to apologize like our mom just did. I said no, and he got mad again saying I'm an a-hole. Well, I'm going with not the idiot. Not only because you were 17 at the time and were threatened by your own mother if you had told anyone, but also because the one who's really at fault here is your mom. Yes, she should have apologized, but you? Not really. Not in the circumstances you found yourself in. Could your mother have been bluffing? Of course, but I get that you didn't want to risk it. I wouldn't either. Also, we know OP was 17 at the time, but we don't have information on the age of his brother or his ex-sister-in-law, nor how much time has passed since the incident. Maybe this is important to others, but for me, I don't know. In the end, the child is yours, and the woman cheated on you. Is it really important now to know that your mother did a DNA test on your son, and that your brother knew about it? I don't know. I think OP's brother is focusing his anger in the wrong place and person. The one who cheated on him here was his ex-partner, but I think any form of, quote, betrayal he finds right now will be a source of fury for him, at least at this moment. Not the idiot OP. But yeah, your mom was such an idiot when she took the test in secret, and even more so when she threatened you. I understand her concerns, but she wasn't right. At least she admitted her mistake and apologized, but if those were sincere apologies, I have no idea. And what do you guys think about this situation? What would you do if you were OP? Would you have told the brother? Do you think OP should apologize? What about his mom? What would you have done in her place? Don't forget to leave your comments down below. I'm going with not the idiot. You were only 17, still a kid. Your mom threatened you. She threatened your entire future by saying she wouldn't pay for your college. Your mom is the only true a-hole. True. Not the idiot. But to be honest, OP, is this worth not apologizing now? If it is worth not doing and risking the relationship, that's totally your right, but I think this is one instance where I'd apologize for the circumstances and that you kept it secret to avoid punishment. Not the idiot, because you were a minor and your mom was threatening you. However, at this point I think you can tell your brother you hated not telling him and you were sorry for what your mom did. He has every right to be angry, and I'm sure validating how wrong it was will go a long way. I understand you not telling, but I also understand him being mad. I would be going out of my way to mend fences and earn his trust back. I'm gonna go with not the idiot. This is a shitty situation that your mom put you in. She never should have threatened you, and she never should have DNA tested that baby. You were being threatened with no more financial support as a minor, and I can understand why you didn't tell him. I do sympathize with your brother, though. This isn't easy for him. And what about you guys? Do you agree with the comments? Would you advise anything else to OP? Don't forget to leave your thoughts down below. And that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, go watch the video that is appearing on the screen right now or click on one of our playlists that are in the description to watch more videos. Until next time.